Backtesting, backtesting, backtesting. I get the questions all the time. How often should I backtest? How long should I backtest each session? Even once I'm profitable, should I continue to backtest to learn and grow as a trader? And today, we are going to just run through the hard truth about backtesting. Now, backtesting it's beneficial until it's not. The way I always looked at it is I always knew that in anything you do in life, not just trading, but anything, you have to pay to play. I am fully aware that I am not the smartest man on the planet. I know that there are other people out there who are more knowledgeable and have more information than me. So me personally, instead of trying to figure everything out myself when it came to trading, I got multiple mentorships until I finally got the one that actually worked for me. And the way I looked at it was, if I am going to be learning from this mentor and he already has a profitable strategy that he has shown results and has proven over a long period of time, then why would I spend so much time backtesting a strategy that's proven to work? Because why do we backtest in the first place? We backtest in order to gain confidence on a strategy, so that way when we sit down in front of the charts real time, we're confident in taking these setups because we know they work not just for a week, not just for a month, but over a long period of time. So for me, when I was still in my learning curve, I did backtest, but it wasn't ever really a huge part of my trading because I understood I was learning from someone that already had a profitable strategy. In my opinion, what is 10 times more effective than backtesting is forward testing. A lot of people talk about getting a paper trading account so that way you can learn without actually having to apply real risk. And I think that's good. Me personally, I did paper trade. I paper traded for a long time. I paper traded for 4 to 5 months when I was learning futures, which is more than most people are willing to do. Now, what I think would have been probably more beneficial is actually, instead of just paper trading with no money, just buying maybe a 50K eval, spending $100 and treating that evaluation as if it were an express funded account. Because although it's not an express funded account, it's still, I had to pay money for that account. And now I'm actually sitting there in real time. There is some emotion behind it and I'm forward testing a strategy. That way, if I make mistakes, I can journal it. I can learn from it the right way because I pressed the buy button or pressed the sell button in real time. Now when I journal that and look back on it, then that's how you grow as a trader. By actually executing, forward testing, learning from your mistakes, and making sure that they don't happen again moving forward. And if you don't have a lot of money to your name, that's totally fine. Like I said, spend $50 to $100 on one evaluation and risk $200 to $300. Whatever you have to do, whatever is going to make it so that you do have some emotion behind the trade, but you're also not risking a fuck ton of money. Now, I'm not completely against backtesting, and I do think it is beneficial in the early stages when you're getting comfortable with the model. Because regardless if you have someone in front of you that's showing results after results, all people are the same way. You can hear something from someone else time after time, but until you actually experience it for yourself, you're never gonna have that full conviction in if it works or if it doesn't. If you are going to backtest, the way that you need to do it is you need to try to replicate the real-time markets as efficiently and as perfect as humanly possible. A lot of people, when they backtest, they will only look at one asset. Most of you guys who watch me, you trade NQ and ES, and a lot of the times when you're backtesting, you're only looking at NQ or you're only looking at ES. But with the strategy that I personally use, it is very important that I have both assets pulled up on the screen. It's very important that I know all of the economic data for the day and that I know all the news that's coming out. And let's be honest, when you're backtesting, more than likely, you're not gonna have both assets pulled up going bar by bar and also looking at all the news. And on top of that, how has the market been lately? Are we ranging? Are we trending? Is volume high? These are a lot of important factors in the way that I trade. And with backtesting, you can't really fully digest all of that. So if you are going to backtest, you need to have both assets pulled up You need to be clicking. There's little, if you're using FX Replay, there's little dots at the bottom of the screen that show you what the news is, what time it's coming out. You need to put those things into play, because if you don't, how can you expect the stats that you get from backtesting to be replicated on live markets? It doesn't make any sense. Me personally, my stats forward testing in live markets are actually better than my stats on backtesting. I know it's fucking difficult to believe, but it's the truth, because with the way that I trade, I take a lot of mid-candle entries based on volume, based on how the market's moving. Sometimes I'll trade closer to open when everything's moving quick, and if you're backtesting and you're only looking at candle closes, you can't really take those types of entries. You're not going to get the same results. There are plenty of setups that look absolutely perfect, completely textbook A+ setups that I'll see on backtesting, but in live markets, I would have never taken those setups based on the context behind the setup, based on the overall trend, market conditions. There's a lot of things that go into the setups that I take, and when you're backtesting, just playing bar by bar, you can't get all of that information needed in order to have full conviction in a setup. And I think the biggest thing with backtesting and why it's so different from live markets is, let's say you're backtesting and it's a Friday. In backtesting, if you don't get a setup or if the market's just kind of shit, you know that you can immediately just skip a couple days and then go to Monday and look for a setup that day. But in live markets, you might be red on the week and maybe you have something planned that weekend and you just really want to go into the weekend green so you're feeling good. And then you force a setup and then you lose, emotions come into play. And with backtesting, you can't get that. Backtesting does not teach you how to control your emotions and have solid psychology. It just doesn't. You need to experience live market conditions in order to build the psychological aspects that it takes to be a consistently profitable trader. I'm sure you hear this time and time again, that trading is 10 or 20% strategy and 90 or 80% psychology. And I don't know if those percentages are really 100% true, but I do know that once you have a strategy that you have full conviction in, it really is kind of a game of you versus you. That's where psychology matters the most. And if your psych is not on lock, it doesn't matter how much backtesting you've done. It doesn't matter how convicted you are in your strategy, you will get fucked. Now, the reason that I post videos of me doing backtesting, going through the markets, is I do still believe it's helpful watching someone that actually knows what they're doing with the strategy. I believe it's helpful getting almost a glimpse into their brain, what they're thinking. Because not only am I taking setups in the backtesting sessions, but I'm narrating the whole thing. I'm telling you guys, why does this not look good? What are some things about this setup that doesn't give me full conviction? Or I'm saying, you know what? I can't see exactly what's going on in live markets, but based on everything I'm seeing, this looks really good, so I'm willing to give it a shot. But once you have the base knowledge of what you're looking for and you know the criteria for an entry versus probably to stay out, you need to put the back testing to the side for a little bit and you have to forward test. Get a 50K eval, risk light on it, and whether you take a trade or not, journal every single fucking day. That's the biggest thing that turned me from inconsistent break even to consistently getting profits, is journaling every single day, no matter what. If I missed out on a setup, why did I miss out on it? What was I not seeing on the chart that these other people were seeing? If I took a setup and it lost, okay, what went wrong? Was I emotional? Was this a tactical error? Was this just a statistical loss? And even if I was taking wins, was it a good win? Was this a setup I should take? Because green does not mean you did the right thing. If you take a couple wins in a row, but they were pure luck, and then you just get shit on the next few weeks, are those wins really wins? Not really. So if you're going to backtest to get comfortable with the strategy, that's completely fine. Backtest for a month or so. When you're doing these sessions, you should not be taking more than 5 trades. Like when I was backtesting, after 5 trades, your brain is just fried at that point. There's no way that you're going to be able to replicate the decisions that you make on live markets on backtesting after you've taken more than 5 trades. It's not gonna happen. But once you have that confidence in what you're looking for, go forward test that shit. it will be 10 times more beneficial, and you'll probably get better stats than you would on backtesting, because a lot of times what will happen, people will get comfortable with the strategy, they'll forward test it, then they'll say, I should probably do a little more work, I'm not doing enough, I don't feel like I deserve this. Then they'll go on backtesting, they'll get cooked, and then their confidence is just absolutely shot. So I know you guys love the backtesting videos. I do think it's beneficial, so I will continue to do them, but I just wanted to give my honest take on backtesting because I get asked about it all the fucking time. But as always, I have the link to join my free Discord. That's gonna be in the description of this video. I post my bias every single morning, exactly what I'm looking for. I review your guys' trades, and it's all completely free. So definitely join up, but I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.